What's going on YouTube? I've waited a long time to make this video because I wanted all the details out about the Mayweather McGregor fight before I put my 2 cents in to say how I see this fight going. First off, I want to say I love boxing. Don't really like MMA, don't really watch it. I saw John Jones, Cormier just because of their rivalry. And other than that, I like watching Brock Lesnar just because he was a beast before he got sick. And I like GSP because of his crisp, clean punches, which you normally see in a boxer. But I by no means favor UFC slash MMA versus boxing. Boxing is where my heart's at. It's where it's always been. I used to box. So that's where I naturally would go. Now, with that being said, I want to say that for all these analysts, other fighters who are claiming that Conor McGregor has a 0% chance to win or a 1% chance to win is fucking ridiculous. We are talking about a fight here. We are not talking about a man versus a child. We are talking about a legitimate fight, a legitimate champion in his sport and an ex-legitimate champion in his sport. So Conor McGregor, first off, no matter what, how you look at it, is a highly trained athlete. He is highly trained. And the one thing that he has in his favor is he's got hella knockout power. Now, you can listen to Polly and believe that he can't hit hard, even though he was hitting Polly with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on, which really neutralizes a lot of your knockout power, especially for smaller guys, because they don't have the body weight to generate the force to go through the extra padding. It's just, take that with a grain of salt. But I'm telling y'all, I give Conor a much greater chance than what these people are saying. Is he going to land punches on Mayweather? Yes. Has every fighter who's ever fought Mayweather landed punches on him at least one here and there, once or twice? Yes. To believe that you would be in a 12-round boxing match against any top-tier level athlete, even a guy who doesn't know how to fight, a top-tier athlete, take him from the NFL, take him from basketball, a guy who has the endurance and is very athletic, to think that he can't land one punch eventually is just stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even need to be discussed. Now, when we're getting into this, my 30% chance is what I give Conor. 30% chance, and I'm going to get into that, and y'all are going to see why, and I will tell y'all exactly what I think is going to happen in this fight, because I don't think Conor's going to win. I think Mayweather's going to beat him, and beat him pretty decisively and embarrassing him along the way. But I do say Conor does have a shot. I do say Conor has about a 30% chance to win, and these are the reasons why. One, Conor, if he can do what I have been saying for years people need to do against Mayweather, and do what he was doing against Polly and just hitting. Don't matter. I don't care. Fuck it. Slap. Slap all day. Slap with the side of your glove. It does not matter. Hit Mayweather. Mayweather has a really bad tendency to shell up when he's getting a barrage of punches put on him. When he gets barrage, he shells. This showed against Maidana in their first fight. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, Maidana beat him, even though he didn't. Maidana won the first 5 rounds, ran out of gas, got the fuck beat out of him for the next rounds from 6 through 12. Okay? That was it. He got his ass whooped 7 rounds straight. Won the first 5. Outside of that, Maidana came back. Didn't do the same thing because he didn't want to run out of gas and got schooled because he tried to stay in the middle of the ring. Now, coming off that, look at Victor Ortiz versus Mayweather. Victor Ortiz was having some success, although Mayweather was schooling him, catching him here and there, da-da-da-da-da. He still had Mayweather doing this against the ropes. Laughing at him, grabbing him, laughing. But look, avoiding, laughing, and pop shots are the only thing that counts as points. Just the pop shots. All that shelling up doesn't matter. It does not matter how many punches you make somebody miss, because that's not how you score. It's not scored on avoiding punches. It's scored on landing punches. So my point is, if Conor can just hit him, whether it be grazing, glancing, slapping, whatever y'all want to call it, if he can land 20 to Mayweather's 1 or 2 here or there shots that are clean, precise, crisp, he'll outscore him. Now, clean punches and power punches are counted for more, but when you're landing at a 20-to-1 ratio, it doesn't matter if they're glancing or not. You've landed too many for them not to be decisively worth more. So What Conor has to do is he's got to be on top of Mayweather and he's got to hit him. It does not matter if he hits him in the shoulders, in the bicep, in the forearms, in the elbow, in the gloves. It does not matter. You have to hit him. Do not be like most boxers are. And I would be bad at this too, where you want to get a punch in. You want to hit the stomach, hit the face, make it score, chest, whatever. Don't do that. You just need to hit the man. Hit him, hit him, hit him. And if you have to and you can't hit him in the leg once or twice. Take that warning. But it'll slow him down. Hit him in that thigh. Slow the man down. Hit him. You got to keep in mind, Mayweather is 40 years old. The difference in a young athlete and an old athlete, and even though old athletes can last longer because of nutrition, the one thing cannot last longer, and that's body repair. It's biology. It's science. It is what it is. A guy in his 40s cannot take the damage that a guy in his 20s could take. And the guy in his 40s will not take the same amount of damage that he used to take. So if you beat on him, he's more susceptible to get hurt. So that's what he's got to do. He's got to beat on him. Now, how Conor should be training is exactly what I said. He needs to get 12 different people if he has to. Go in there and just beat on him. Bop, 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 beat on him. Beat on him, beat on him, beat on him, beat on him, beat on him. That's all he's got to do. So training partners, he should have fresh people every round. Just get used to throwing nothing but punches, nothing but punches, nothing but punches. And that's his only way to success outside of a knockout. Do I believe Conor can knock him out? Highly doubtful. But the one thing I do give Conor, and this is like, I've never really watched any of his, well, in fact, I haven't watched one of his fights outside of highlights. But what I can say from what I've seen with Conor, when Conor hurts somebody, when he's got him rocked, he makes him look like a Fight Night character. He hits him so many times on the way down that it is fucking amazing. Like, it is amazing how many times he can hit somebody while they're falling. It's just bop, 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 and then they're on the ground and they're out. So with that being said, if he can stagger Mayweather like a Judah did or like a Shane Mosley did, the difference is he's not going to catch him once. He's going to catch him an ass of times. And a huge difference here is if Mayweather gets rocked or stumbles, he's not going to be able to clinch. Because clinching with a guy who's used to wrestling with people and manipulating bodies to get them on the ground or off of them is going to be very hard to hold on to. So he's not going to have that clinch to rely on if he gets hurt. He's just going to be broken off and then broken down. So that's what I see. Now, people say, well, you know, he's unorthodox and da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's bad. Well, yes and no. Sometimes being bad isn't always bad. Because what I mean by that is Conor throws a lot of looping punches, a lot of hooks. That's what we mean by looping. All right, wide punches. Now, you're always taught in boxing that a straight punch will always be a wide punch. And I would agree with that, except in some cases. Now, let's look at an example of this. Mayweather's Philly shell. In my opinion, the best Philly shell in boxing ever was a prime James Toney. James Toney in his prime had the best defense / offense, attacking, that I've ever seen as far as the Philly shell goes. Mayweather is very good at it, don't get me wrong, but James Toney to me was the best at it. Now, what happened to James Toney when he met Roy Jones Jr.? Roy Jones, beast, naturally gifted, was so fast that he could come around and catch him from the outside. Hooks all day. And he wore him down. I mean, he was catching from the inside too, but he would come around and bop, bop. And that's the problem with the angular Philly shell. It's great if you can keep him in front of you. But if you got a guy who's fast enough to get around you, he can get you because now you're open. No matter how much you turn, if he can come around, you're open to be hit. Period. And that's how Roy Jones did it. That's the only advantage I see to Conor's looping punches. Now, with that being said, Mayweather, what I see Mayweather doing. Mayweather's going to come out there and do what he does. He's going to post up. And the problem with Conor is, and they really need to work on this, is the stance difference in a boxer and an MMA fighter. MMA fighters are very squared in terms of boxing terms. And the reason for that is, in MMA, you've got to throw kicks, you've got to check kicks, and you got to stop takedowns most importantly. You got to just stop them. So you got stuff people coming in on you. Now, a perfect example of why Mayweather's style is bad for UFC is, once again, come back to James Toney. James Toney had that Philly shell, very angular. When you're at an angle, you have no stability as somebody grabs you, so you're going down. So your center of balance is off. But in a boxing ring, you don't have to worry about being tackled. You don't have to worry about being kicked, and you can't throw kicks. So the more squared you are, let me show y'all. See this? Philly shell, right? Mayweather style. And then he's got his little Spartan shield that he likes to come up with. It's invisible. You can't see it, but there's a shield there, I'm telling you. With this that he likes to bring over the top, his back right like a jab. Now, watch what happens. These are MMA fighters, okay? So we'll put our guard up, but this is the MMA fight. Notice how my chest is opening up. The more squared you are, the more surface area you have to hit, which means you're an easier target to pick across, especially against a sharpshooter and a technician like Mayweather. So what I see happening is Conor's going to come out aggressive. He's going to get tagged, maybe a 1-2, or just a, because like I said, he throw that straight right like it's a jab. So he might, hit him, and then step around him, hit him, step around him. And Conor's not, I don't feel like Conor's going to know what to do. And the thing is, cardio. With boxers who get tired, they're at least experienced enough in the ring to know how to survive when tired. They know how to position. They know where punches are coming from. They know what to do to eat up as little bit of energy as possible to get their second wind. The problem with Conor is I don't think he's going to be skilled enough that if he does get tired to be able to defend himself properly. I think it's going to be like, it's going to be a chisel to a mountain. Chisel don't hurt a mountain when you first hit it, but you do it 3-4 days, that fucking mountain comes down from a little ass chisel. And that's what Mayweather's going to do to him. Like I said, Conor's going to come aggressive. He's going to get caught. Boom, boom. Mayweather's going to step away. Boom, boom. Step away. Boom, boom. Step away. And he's going to keep working him until he gets him hurt. When he gets him hurt, it's just going to be more pressure added as this goes on. That's how I see it. I believe Conor McGregor is going to get knocked out in between the 7th and 9th round because he's just going to get hit so frequently that there's nothing he can do. I don't think he can properly defend himself against somebody who's so clean and crisp. Although I said how I believe he needs to win, the thing is he skilled enough to even do what I said? That's a huge question. I don't really think he is, but I do give him a shot because you always have to respect somebody with power. If they had the power to knock somebody out, I don't care if you're a professional fighter. It's like Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones did everything wrong, technically, for a boxer. Horrible stuff. Hands down, face out, dancing. It didn't matter, though, because he was so naturally gifted with speed that he could get out the way. So agile, timing so good that he could do everything wrong until he got older and slowed down. Then he got caught. Then he got knocked out because he didn't have them good fundamentals to fall back on. Whereas Mayweather is fundamentally sound. But with Conor, it's just he doesn't have those fundamentals to be good. And the point I was trying to make is with power, you could take a guy who's a professional fighter, put him out in the streets, and a guy who's never fought before, but maybe just has that, oh my God, I just got my fucking head knocked off power, hits him, he's going to go out. Because this is not a video game. A trained athlete knows how to roll with punches, knows how to get out the way of punches. There's a lot of aspects that go into fighting, but at the end of the day, every single person is human, and there is a threshold of what a human body can take. And if you get hit by that, whether it be a lucky shot or just a well-placed shot, or you just was so overconfident you got caught slipping, it does not fucking matter. Anybody can get knocked out. Anybody. So Conor has that possibility because he has the power. Mayweather is 40 years old. I don't really think he has 2 years of ring rust because Mayweather looks like the type that's always in the gym, always in shape. Whether he's in fighting shape or not, that's neither here nor there, but he's still in shape. He doesn't let his body wither away. He doesn't let his body go. That's why you didn't see him get up to 200 pounds whenever he retired for the second time. So to recap, because I know I've talked a lot because I get irritated about analysts giving him no shot when he does have a shot. It's a 29-year-old going against a 4-year-old. I don't care how good the 40-year-old is. it's still a 29-year-old who's hungry to win going against a 40-year-old. Now, Mayweather has not been hit a lot throughout his career, so he's in a lot better shape than most fighters at 40 years old because he doesn't have the wars. His body isn't broken down like, say, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao looks like he's on the decline because he's been through wars. The more you beat up your body, the more you break down. Mayweather doesn't look as broke down, but he's still 40. He is still 40. So if Conor can press him, hit him once again, then he could possibly open him up to hurt him. And I'm saying possibly, I give him a 30% chance to win. But I really believe, just like I called 100% how it was going to go down with Pacquiao, I don't believe Conor's good enough to cut off the ring. I don't believe Conor knows how to do proper footing. I believe that when he starts switching stances, he's going to get caught. And I believe the 8-ounce gloves that used to be 10 ounces is the worst thing that could ever happen to Conor. Yes, you have more of a possibility that if you can land that shot, if you're praying for a shot, you know, you could possibly get a knockout easier. But the advantage goes to the man who's going to hit the man the most. And we all know Mayweather's going to hit Conor a lot more than Conor's going to hit Mayweather. So therefore, them 2 ounces of foam padding, which 2 ounces of foam is a lot of fucking foam. That's what people don't understand. They get caught up in this idea of it's only 2 ounces, but it's not only 2 ounces. It takes a lot of fabric to make them 2 ounces. And Mayweather is just going to, this gives Mayweather a better shot at knocking out Conor, period. Can Conor take body blows? I don't know. But what I do know is I believe from the 7th to 9th round, Conor is going to go to sleep, whether it be from a shot to the gut or a shot to the face. I don't believe it's going to be a one-hitter quitter, but I believe it's going to be from an accumulation of punches. And how I see it going is Mayweather's going to fill him out for a round or two, catch him, counter him, counter him, counter him. Conor's going to look confused, not know what to do. Mayweather's going to start pressing more. As Mayweather has more and more success, he's going to press harder and harder and harder and harder until he lets his hands go at a rate of speed that we've never seen before because he's going to be that confident. And that's how I see the fight going. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see what happens.